Hello punters and welcome to another episode of Tipster. We're obviously in July in the Country Cup season, and of course on my right hand side is none other than Mick Gannon.
G'day Damo, how are you mate?
All right mate, Mick, I was going to say Mick the Wild Man Gannon because I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, mate, what's the story?
Mate, school holidays, just casual with the kids. Took them down to Cockatoo Island this morning and just rolled into the office and be heading back out shortly.
Well, mate, did you paddle out and sort of?
I swam. They took the ferry.
It looks like it. I'll introduce you to this thing called a raise another day, but yeah, we'll get into that another time. I'm not here to give you fashion tips, mate. I promise you. But hey, what about this time of year, Mick? Okay, sure, the big Group 1s aren't on, but of course it's Country Cup season. I know there's bit going on up north in Queensland around Rocky, and I think they'll go over to Townsville, and of course here we've got the big Grafton Cup Carnival. And punters, I tell you what, if you're doing nothing this weekend, what a great idea to get out there. Have you been to a Grafton Cup?
No, never.
No, Jesus,
mate's got a horse going to the Grafton Guineas. The idea was floated to get up there, but just going to miss out there. But Crafty Eagle, we're getting the job done in the Grafton Guineas.
All right, so there we go, inside mail.
Something.
Yeah, and of course we've got the board all set up here for the big race of Grafton.
The South Grafton Cup.
South Grafton Cup, of course. And Luke Hovhanessian, of course, who's now, mate, have you heard him on SEN recently?
Oh, he's just dominating proceedings.
He's all over it.
Love
and he has done a preview for it's on the Clarence River Jockey Club website. So if you go there, you can get his preview for all the big race days. So
you can find a winner, Luke, so jump on there, Clarence River Jockey Club.
He's flying. He's had a big month and he's going well. So, look, definitely worth visiting. So, and of course, Mick, usual thing, we're going to look at June winners from the media and just overall winners. Got a bit of an interesting one this month, Mick. We're going to look at the financial year tipsters of the year. So, of course...
Stop it.
Yeah. Well, look, June 30 means it's the end of the financial year. So, we look at the 12-month leaderboard.
Beautiful.
And we'll find out who's been punting well in the financial year. Don't have to put that in your tax return either, mate.
No, I was going to say, I've got a few losses I might be able to throw in this afternoon on the way out.
No, can't claim that. So, hang around, punters. Lots to go through. A few little things stuck in at the end that are well worth hanging around for. So, don't go away.
Welcome back to Tipster, and here we are, Tipster of the month overall for June. And well, I'll tell you what, looking at the numbers there on the screen, Damo, it looks like it was a pretty easy month for some with a formulator on top. As a man, we've seen plenty of 99% profit on turnover.
Yeah,
wow.
So formulator, he's been tipping since 2011 in profit. So starting prices in profit, 3 months in a row. And like that period, get this, I had to write it down, 8,538 tips. So he's put 8,538 tips in the site since over 12 years.
Yeah.
And he's making a profit, and he's been profitable 3 months. So, I mean, like, look.
We'll be on one of those yachts somewhere in the in Monaco or something.
Absolutely.
Formulator, he's just dominating.
And you can guess how he picks them. He's got a formula and it works. And look, I don't want to try and guess it. I think it's interesting how he does things. I think the little tidbits I've probably picked up over time, but the easy way is to just follow this guy. You go to the site, you put formulator into the search bar, you follow him, you get an alert when he tips. Look, you could do worse than just follow him. Now, his prices of his winners are about $11 in the last month, but that average used to be higher. So you're going to get some roughies in there.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
You're going to get some losers because they're big prices.
Well, the 18% strike rate there suggests what you've got in June.
Almost 1 in 5, but you stick with him and he gets the results, and this is just another month.
Dominating proceedings there is Formulator in second there, Ryan Sobara.
Yeah.
He's got the pro symbol there, 75% profit on turnover, average price $5.82. Ryan, you've absolutely dominated proceedings. Just got knocked off by one better, but that's some effort.
Yeah, no, he's going well. Tipster in Australia, International, doing a good job.
Yeah,
uses Dutch betting too, so that's an interesting thing. He'll take more than one runner in a race, and he'll give you some staking advice on that for the punters who are interested.
Some impressive work there. Yeah. Dutch betting, 75% profit on turnover. In third there on the podium, Stuart Gray, 49% profit on turnover.
Yeah, Stuart Gray, interesting, just focuses on Victoria and South Australia.
Perfect.
And in South Australia in particular, I reckon there's a lot of value to be found.
Yep.
And, you know, he's obviously keeping his stats, keeping his numbers. You know, he really sees it easy in a lot of races to just can't cancel runners out.
Yep.
You know, can't handle conditions and so forth. For some reason, SA more than anything. So, look, hey, he's doing the hard work.
Yeah.
Easy thing for a punter to do. It's just follow him.
Simple.
Again, Stuart Gray, stick it in the search bar and you're going to find him, follow him, you'll get an alert when he tips.
Outstanding. And there's a man to my heart, Rowdy Legend in 4th position, 46% profit on turnover. Rowdy.
Yeah, Rowdy's been on site for a while, and I actually saw an article this morning which said not only did he shoot the lights out in June, but he's also making money again in July. So not a flash in the pan at all. $8.79 average price. You've got to be happy with that.
There's plenty of tips in there too. 175 tips. Rowdy's been up and about, so you should be with a name like that. And 5th, Pushkin.
Yeah, Pushkin, he is probably not into the more modern ways and using all the data and so forth, likes to use the old-fashioned way.
Oh, dinosaur old Pushkin, is he?
Oh, look, I'm not calling him that. He sounds like it's working, whatever's happening. You know, 41% pot, $6. I certainly didn't have those numbers in June, I'd say.
No, me neither. Not even close.
No, so there it is, Mick.
Up you go. There you go. Punters tips of the month, overall leaderboard for June. And here we have tips of the month, the media edition, and there's a familiar face up there, none other than one Cameron Luke, or Cam Luke as he goes by. SEN, 37% profit on turnover, 6 winning weeks in a row, just pure domination from the man.
Well, we know Cam Luke's sharp. We're a fan of his, and I heard the other day when you're on the Tipster program on SEN that he's a fan of us. I think afterwards he was certainly saying some great things about the site and so forth. And look, he's certainly someone who doesn't mind his stats being measured because he produces this sort of stuff.
Well, he's absolutely dominated proceedings, and you can catch his stuff during the day as well. He's up there with tags and the 6-timer and Milo and a few of the boys there. He does great work there on SEN track, so it's really good to see. Absolutely dominating. In second, Brendan Tupper for best bets.
Yeah, Brendan is a good guy. You know, sort of had some chats with him on the Twitter sphere and that over the time. Look, sharp punter who posts tips. That's the story about Brendan. And look, he's been in the top 5 numerous times in the past. Does well. These stats are great. You know, 136 tips, 30% pot on starting price is out of the park.
Absolutely enormous. And in third, Gilbert Gardner from the Herald Sun.
Yeah, Gilbert Gardner, he is from the Herald Sun. He tips pretty much every day. I don't get much out of Gilbert, but look, he does follow us a bit, follow us on Twitter, and we certainly get some follows and so forth. So he's active on Twitter. But yeah, we were hoping to get him on to give us an early tip, but unfortunately,
too busy doing form with 134 tips. So you're dead set flat out like a lizard drinking.
Yes.
In fourth there, Anthony Collins, a man that we see plenty of from Sky Racing.
Yeah, and look, Anthony, top 3 last 2 years, calendar years, Sky Racing. So no mugging. Hey, look, you know what you can do now with, and I know it's Mano's there next you're going to talk to, on our new site, which I'm sure you've been all over, Nick. You know, all the big race sites like Sky Racing, you can go to the Sky Racing page and there's a feed. So every 10 minutes you're going to see new information, results. It'll tell you who's tipped on the day. It will tell you all sorts of things as they happen, results. So if you're wondering how so-and-so is going, Sky Racing feed, I think if you Google it, we're about the 3rd item down there, the great tip-off Sky Racing page, as with the SEM page and all the other pages, so you can see what's going on, see who's winning, and follow those who are winning.
That's all you got to do. That's the idea. You get on the greattipoff.com, check out who's winning, and you want to back a punter in form. Without a shadow of a doubt. Speaking of a punter in form, a nice little segue, my man, Anthony Manton. Not only does Manto dominate proceedings behind the microphone when he's calling races, he's now hosting the show for Marlowe. He's off, since Marlowe's been off, absolutely killing it, Manto, so well done. And he's also part owner of Patriot Bloodstock, who are also doing good things. So he's flying, and he can also tip.
He can tip. He can definitely tip. He knows his stuff. Look, certainly in the regions where he calls, I mean, that's where he tips. But he certainly knows a thing or two.
Well, we say it time and time again. These punters that are always here, they're specific. They narrow in on their regions. They know the horses in and out, and it makes life so much easier. And they know the tracks.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I mean, if you're looking for if you're next to Go Neville and you're looking for something, you could do a lot worse than just follow the race caller's tip.
And I'll tell you what you can do, and this is the best bit about the greattipoff.com. You can get on there, say we're racing. Where are you racing today, mate? Kenzo, right? Randwick Kenzo. So you go to the Great Tip Off, you go to the leaderboard, you go to Randwick Kensington, you bring down that track, okay, and away you go. You know the guys that dominate there. But where it's better is we go to Coffs Harbour or we go to Grafton on Saturday. We'll go up there, we go to Grafton because, it's a real niche area up there. There's only a small amount of people there. Put down the Grafton stats and see who dominates there. That's where you're going to make money in the country and provincial areas.
Yeah, no, exactly. Look, it's a great resource. All the features are there. They were there before, and we've just made it.
We just got to look for them.
Yeah,
we got to tell them. You got to know. You got to let them know.
It's easier to find, but anyhow, there we go, Mick. So there's the top 5. All the popular expert tipsters in the media. These are the 5 who made the most money. Okay, listen in, punters. This is the part of the show where you get free tips, and they're exclusives, Mick, because these guys haven't even put these on the sites or anywhere else in the media. You're getting exclusive here on the Tipster show right now, and let's see what we've got. First up, we've got Chris Nelson. Chris Nelson, mate, he's now on SEN. He's everywhere.
Absolutely dominating.
He's going well.
Yeah,
let's see what he's got.
Thanks, guys. Chris Nelson here. Thanks for having me on the show. Really appreciate it. You do a terrific job compiling all the results of the tipsters throughout the country. It can't be an easy task, but you do it really well. Had a good June. Hopefully that can continue on into July. Let's hope so. Cross our fingers. Now, as for how I do the form, well, I'm a very big video watcher. I think there's a lot of parts that go into form. Certainly speed maps and ratings. If you like ratings, I'll get to those. Sectional times, but for me, it's generally all about watching as many races as I possibly can. I don't think you can beat what you see with your own eye. Others may disagree, and that's fine, because everybody has their different way of doing the form. But for me, it's all about watching as many videos as I possibly can. Now, sectional times, I love to know how a race is run. And I'd like to know if it's run fast or it's run slow, and that'll give me an idea of what are the better runs in the race going forward, horses to follow. So that's probably part number 2 for me. Speed maps, yeah, look, I've gone off the speed maps a little bit over the last probably 6 months to a year or so. I just found that I'd do these maps and something would go wrong at the start and the whole map would go out the window. So it was a waste of time. I still do them, but I don't put as much emphasis on the speed maps. And ratings, well, used to do ratings a fair bit when I was younger. Went back to them a few times as well, but I just can't get my head around them. I see horses that should be rated higher that are lower and vice versa. So it just skews my form analysis altogether. So I'm not into the ratings these days. As I said though, other people are. Good luck to them if it works for them. Everybody's got their own way. Now I do tips for Queensland and New South Wales, predominantly Sydney, obviously in New South Wales, and pretty much all around Queensland. We've got races this week at Doomben. I've got a couple of tips there. Race 2, number 3, Space Tracker should be way too good for the opposition. And race 9, number 12, Hatchet's got some good form. And at Randwick, race 9, number 11, Iona Merc. You can find my tips all over the Twitter. I'm sure you won't miss them anywhere. Thanks again, guys. Good luck, punters.
Hey, and of course, there's the punters on the site, Mick, and we saw that several of them did very well in June. And we've got some free tips from the punters at thegreattipoff.com.
G'day everyone, Ryan here. You can find me on the Great Tip Off as Flying Ryan. I generally like to target WA racing as the pool of horses is a lot smaller than the eastern states, making the form a lot easier to line up. I like to take multiple runners in a race, so I try to find races where the market is wrong and I can be on 2 or 3 horses away from the favourite and still end up with a good result. That said, my best for Saturday is likely to be very firm in the market. Belmont race 6, number 6, Queen Alina. She loomed to win off a hot tempo last start on a wet track in States grade and just gave out late. She's rock hard fit now, and Chris Parnham stays on as he's done the entire prep. She gets back from gate 10 and hopefully gets a great toe into the race and charges over them late. Without any odds being available yet, anything over $3 is a great bet in my opinion. Good luck, punters.
Here we are, Damo. We have tipster of the year, the financial year.
Financial year.
Absolutely. So fair to can turn it up. I don't know how we've come up with this, but we have. And I'll tell you what, why not? It's a good way to see how people have been performing over a 12-month period. And on top, well, shock me, Richard Bell, 33%.
Mate, I reckon if you're having a WA punt and you've got no idea, next to go Neville, what are you doing? Richard Bell's calling.
Yeah.
Just fire the tip.
Dominate.
Seriously.
Just like that's just so impressive. So for the last 12 months, the financial year, that includes everything.
Yeah, and he doesn't just do Belmont and Ascot. He's doing country meetings. But like, look at the stats too: $4.92 average price, 33% pot, a decent number of tips here, 185. Like that's,
huge.
It's about 100 we normally sit the line at. He's almost doubled it. So no flash in the pan. You go back in history, he's been doing it all the time.
Super stuff, Richard. And in second there, Mitch Lewis from SEN does most of his stuff down in South Australia. He runs his own little bit of a service on Twitter and has a website as well. So make sure you jump onto Mitch's Twitter there and give him a follow. But he's an absolute star there, mate. And in third there, Nicky Ashman. He's been a recent addition to thegreattipoff.com and he has just come out whacking. He's just come out firing Ben Stokes like he's a much better bloke than Ben Stokes. So much better bloke.
He doesn't. I haven't heard him whinge. So.
434 tips for 23% profit on turnover.
Yeah.
It's $6.59 if you don't mind average price. Mate, you're a freak. Love your work, son.
He's a good guy too, Nick, and so knowledgeable. Like, geez, you learn stuff off Nick.
I had this conversation with Miles Fitzner on SEN the other morning. We were talking about Nick, and I said, Miles, you're an established punter. We had Miles on this show for a similar thing about 18 months ago. And I said, I reckon that every time you get Nick on, you learn something. And he said, mate, without a shadow of a doubt, every time I have him on, there's something new or an angle that I haven't thought of. And so he's educating the punter. And I tell you what, it's very easy to follow because he does a premium package every Saturday. Absolutely. It's there. Just get on thegreattipoff.com, search Nick Ashman, and away you go.
It's a must-have. And the old thing is, this is the scoreboard, Mick. So all those words, does he know what he's talking about? There we go, there's the scoreboard.
Yeah, they'll look at the scoreboard. And in fourth, Heath Pope, and down there in fifth, the Ginger Wizard.
Yeah, Ginger Wizard.
Dominating Twitter.
Yeah, he's all over Twitter. He does a good little thing there on Twitter with his...
Most of his tips in Pakenham, I believe.
He's a Pakenham expert.
Majority of the time. And once again, just shows if you can really narrow in on a certain area, a certain class of horse and certain track, you can really dominate proceedings.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, Mick, well, that brings us to the close section. But, hey, before you turn off, I've got some really good things coming up here. Mick, bit of a segue.
Yeah.
I heard through the grapevine you're playing soccer, mate, these days.
Yeah, a bit over 35.
Over 35. How's your sprint? How's your sprint over the 100 metres?
Enormous.
Enormous?
Yeah. Against you old blokes.
Yeah, there we go. Well, mate, see what they did in Peru? They got the jockeys together and they had a sprint down the straight on dirt. Have a crack at this one.
A couple of false starts there.
Look at old mate there. He's had to go around the starter.
Wow.
Where are you finishing in this? And keep your eyes on this. There's a bit of a classic one coming up here.
Goodness
keep your eyes
gracious.
on
He's going up and down like a cork in water. Go, son. Down the outside. Oh, down the bottom corner.
You just see the guy down the bottom corner gets tackled.
That's perfect.
So there we go. So where'd you come in that race, mate?
First,
yeah, of course you did. So
the Schwazier colours just kicked clear.
You'd have been a moral.
Yeah.
Nice segue. What's your mixed moral?
Very good. We'll go to Randwick. I think it was race number 8 as we just flicked to the old trusty phone. And we are with race 9, number 11. I Own a Merc. Which was desperately unlucky last start. And
so true.
Desperately unlucky last start. Obviously, Amy McLucas, I think it was aboard, had a bit of a head not coming out of the barrier, so that was unfortunate. But I think she's okay. But Dylan Gibbons aboard, and 1,200 metres suits should be getting the job done. No prices out. It could start $2.50, $3, but I think it'll be getting the job done. Nice.
Okay, well, there we go. Mixed moral for you at Randwick. And hey, that brings us to the end of the program. As always, subscribe because Mick, we're not far away from your All In show.
Ooh.
That'll be kicking off in August.
Mate, Louis just keeps texting me. He's like, "Come on, mate, when are we going to get started? When are we going to get started?" I said, "Lou, just relax. When the Roosters win, we'll get started."
Yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah. Let's not mention them. So that's coming up. So you need to subscribe, right? Because if you subscribe, you get an alert when shows drop. So it won't just be Tipster at the start of every month. It'll soon be All In. You want to know when that drops. We'll tell you more in the next show. But until then, Mick.
Good punning.
Good punning. Enjoy the Grafton Cup.